Welcome to TV5 and Mana TV. You are watching Insight with Praveen Puram straight from Atlanta. As you all know, this informative sessions, the video podcast which we make is mostly for Indo-American community. And the guests all are achieved in their roles or from any of the roles they are working with. And definitely this will be a key session where you will learn from the guests who are on this show from their experience. And I encourage you to subscribe, watch on the every weekends which I conduct. And today our esteemed guest will be Anil Patel. Good morning, Anil. Thank you
Good
so much
morning,
for
Praveen.
joining.
Of course, thank you for having me.
Thank you. The topic today would be State Attorney General. So Anil is the Assistant Attorney General for the state of Georgia under the guidance of current Attorney General Mr. Chris Carr. She has been working with the office since 6 years and is part of the Commercial Transactions and Litigation Division at the AG's office. She also is part of the Indo-American community. And thank you so much, Anil, again for joining us. And we are definitely interested to know more about the Attorney General Office. So why don't you introduce yourself more about your journey as an attorney and also part of the State Attorney General?
Sure. So I actually attended Mercer Law and I graduated in 2016 and I sat for my bar at the end of 2016. I was certified and passed the bar in October of 2016. And I joined the AG's office in July of 2017. And so since then, I have been a part of the AG's office, and happily so. I serve, like you said, under the guidance of the 55th, I believe, AG, who is Mr. Christopher M. Carr. And I think he assumed office to fill a vacancy, at which point he was appointed by Governor Nathan Deal at the time. And the only reason he was appointed at that time was because he was finishing off the term for a previous AG. And since then, he has been reelected twice, I believe, in 2018 and 2022. So it's a 4-year term. And in a lot of states, they put a limit on the amount of terms that you can have and the amount of consecutive terms you can have. Georgia is not one of those states, so he can be reelected. For the past two, he has been, and he is the incumbent. So, of course, we won't be seeing a general election until 4 years since 2022. So he is, and he is the current AG, and we serve. And when I say we, I mean me and all of the other assistant attorney generals. And of course, I'll go into the structure and explain to you other titles that are also part of our office, but all of us essentially serve under the AG's guidance. And so the AG's office as a whole is responsible for mainly providing opinions on legal questions that are concerning the state. So current affairs and things that happen around the state in so many different subjects where there are laws written in our Constitution and overall that the legislator passes, but it's very important that the interpretation of the law is exactly how the state essentially functions, and that's how you enforce the laws. That interpretation on a state level comes from the AG. And so we have official opinions and unofficial opinions, and the great thing about those opinions being enforced and being available to the public is the fact that you would be reading, if you go on the AG's website, which is law.georgia.gov, you will see all of the opinions that have ever been published by the AG, all of the AGs that have been here, official and unofficial. And so we generally provide those opinions whenever we're given questions from other state agencies about how to enforce a certain thing, or if they're confused about a certain thing, or like there always seems to happen, there's always conflict in the way that that the law is either understood, written, or practically enforced. So that's mainly where the AG comes in. Now, outside of that, we also try cases here. We also look into research and whether a certain law on a certain topic is still standing, it has been overruled, that is a part of my general practice every day. But everyone at the AG's office together will do the following as just a broad spectrum of across the board. What we do would be we prosecute public corruption cases. We oversee contracts on behalf of the state. So anytime you name the state as a party to any contract, which generally seems to happen in land that is owned by the state. And so I personally work a lot with the Department of Transportation. So we see a lot of contract work there, a lot of real estate stuff there. We represent the state in civil matters as well. That generally happens from a civilian's perspective or from another, I don't want to say exactly an entire agency, but that generally happens from pro se plaintiffs. And if they ever sue the state and they name any public official, any state official, the governor, judges, anyone that works under the color of the state, that would be something that we defend. So we would be going on behalf of a state agency, a state official, the governor, you have it. So that would be on the civil side. Generally, our office will not initiate a claim unless we are requested by the governor to do so. We generally don't initiate civil or criminal actions on behalf of the state of Georgia. We're generally on the defending side. But along with that, in all capital felony appeals, that would be something that our office is a part of. And in all cases appearing before the Supreme Court of the United States, where the state of Georgia would be involved, would definitely be represented by the AG himself. So our current AG, I could tell you a little bit about what he focuses on. Since having taken office since 2016, he's made it a priority to combat human trafficking, which is obviously an issue that we face not at a state level, but globally as well. Gang-related activity in crime. Opioid misuse has been a huge part of his focus, and elder abuse, which is a issue that's not given as much light as it should be, not just in this state, but overall. And consumer fraud, which I don't even have to tell you that as we are on the internet and as we are globally and everything is available at the click of a button, you need somebody to look out for what not to allow and what not to get taken advantage of the public and the constituents that live in your state. So he has made those 4 or 5 things his main goal as he has been serving the state of Georgia.